Walking into one of these for the first time can be pretty intimidating. Imagine you've never been to Starbucks before, and here you are for the very first time standing in line with no idea what to order. Frankly, you don't even want to be here right now. The only reason you came out is because your coworkers asked you to come, and there is no way you could miss out on a group coffee run. So here you are, so confused about what to get. You start looking around the room to see what other people have ordered, and you notice that most other people have this conspicuous looking green beverage. So you say to the cashier, "I'll have one of those." When we do something like this, we're falling victim to a concept called conformity. Conformity exists in so many aspects of our lives. In fact, it might have played a role in this morning, waking up and joining these PNBTalks, or trying out the pumpkin spice latte, downloading TikTok, or even choosing to attend university. Whether we realize it or not, conformity is everywhere. So what exactly is it? Essentially, conformity is a type of social influence that involves modifying one's behaviors or beliefs in order to fit in with a group. Now, sometimes conformity can be a good thing. So let's say you're back from your Starbucks run and fast forward a couple months, we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's been some talk about wearing masks, so you decide to do a quick Google search to see what's up. You find that this study by Yokoi and colleagues from Japan found that when participants were asked their main reason for wearing a mask, most people said, well, everyone else is wearing a mask, so I chose to wear one too. In this case, mask-wearing behavior has been established as the social norm, at least in Japan. So in this case, conformity is reinforcing a healthy behavior, which benefits society. But sometimes conformity is not so great, which is usually the case in group decision-making. So now that you're attending your workplace calls from home on Zoom, you notice that your team has been coming to some pretty rash decisions. You suspect that conformity might be at play. To do this, you decide that you're going to combat conformity in the situation. But in order to do that, we need to understand how conformity is created in the first place. We're going to follow this 3-step guide. We're going to first recognize where conformity is at play, so that's done in the workplace. Next, we're going to consider the outcomes of conformity in this particular situation. So in mask wearing earlier, conformity led to positive outcomes. But in this situation of group decision making, looks like conformity is not such a good idea. So since we've established that it's not so good, we're going to target it at its source by understanding where it comes from. To do that, let's revisit our Starbucks trip from a couple months ago. You were so confused about what to get that you started looking around the room to see what other people ordered. This demonstrates the comparative function of conformity, which states that in ambiguous situations, we look to other people to decide our behavior. Next, when you looked around, you found that most other people had agreed on a particular beverage. They had a matcha green tea latte. This illustrates the normative function of conformity, which states that other people's behavior sets the standards for how to behave. Now, if you were in the workplace and you wanted to target conformity, you'd have to target at the level of these specific functions. So if you wanted to combat the comparative function, the way you could do this is by ensuring that your group members have a solid understanding of whatever you're making a decision about. That way, they're less likely to be confused and look to each other for what to decide. Next, if you wanted to target the normative function of conformity, you would encourage your group members to continuously bring forth new ideas and suggestions to prevent the formation of a norm and prevent the formation of one particular opinion becoming too popular. What I want you to take away from this is that when it comes to conformity, we have a choice. And that choice is going to depend on the consequences of conforming in a particular situation. What we need to be asking ourselves is, by conforming, are we dismissing a concern that should probably be addressed? Or are we taking part in a healthy social norm that's beneficial for everyone? I hope these questions come to mind the next time you feel pressure to conform. Perhaps the next time you get to go to Starbucks. Thank you.